Sorry, I was record now. Yeah, now it's recording. So I will repeat the question again. You need to explain what is actually happening here. Why it is printed the same thing in different way. Anyone? I think all of you are you have got the correctly got the question right. ප්‍රශ්නේ තේරුණා නේද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට? එතන same code එක මේක print වෙන්නේ දෙවිදිහකට. අපිට answer එක දෙන්න දෙවිදිහකට. මොකක්ද issue එක? Can anyone unmute yourself and please explain that? So then, if otherwise, I will need to point off and someone from you. Students? Let's pick someone. Index number 537. Can you unmute yourself? Hello. You can hear me, right? Index number 537. About the immediate next one, CSE1063 535.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, ඔයාලට ප්‍රශ්නේ පැහැදිලි නේද? මේ explain කරන්න පුළුවන්ද මොකක්ද ඇත්තටම වෙන්නේ කියලා? Can you able to explain that what is happening here in this code?
A is increment by 1 after compile represents like A plus 1.
Sorry, I didn't get you correctly. You mean the first part, this one?
Yes.
So can you repeat it again? So some of your friend has posted the answer for the chat. When we use another variable to that, then we print post increment or post decrement. They take a line to process. No. It is executing same line. Even we have used a separate variable or same variable, it is going to process in the same line. So please raise your hand if you don't know about the answer for this one. ඔගොල්ලෝ මේක දන්නේ නැත්නම් මොකද උනේ කියලා මේ raise කරන්න බලන්න hand එක. Another one, at the first increment A, increment the value for 2 and then again increment the value from 2 to 3 and print from CS3. Yeah, I think all of you can understand this code, right? So I will explain it again. So initially our A is equal to 1 and first B will be assigned by 1. Then it going to increment since this is post increment. This one, since it is post increment, B will be equals to 1 and our A will be 2, right? and C. In here, C will be equals to the increment of A. So increment of A will be 3. So 3 will, C is 3. And here is same D will be first assigned. So D is 3 and now A will be discrete 2. And from here, so E will be assigned to the decrement of A. So decrement of A will be 1 and E will be also 1. So 1, 3, 3, 1. 1, 3, 3, 1. Right. But I won't know what happened here. So someone is, another one also put this for her answer. So the answer is it is only show about the value of A, but another part is added 1 by the above value according to this prefix operation are not showing the exact value, but suffix show the exact value. So I didn't get you, Asim, what you have refer here. Another part is at 1 and 1 by the above value and according to the prefix. It is not showing the exact value. What you mean by the exact value, Asim? I think you get this not right. So I think everyone is get this one right, but I think you probably wondering what is happen actually here. So in when we are coding, you need to understand the first thing is the computer will get the exact values. So it will know exact value. It's only us who don't know about what actually happening inside the machine, right? So there are actually exact values, and we only need to know actually what those operators are doing here. So here in the first one, right? So I will explain this one first. So our A is 1. A should be assigned to A. So here it is B, but here it is same A, and the A should be assigning first and then increment. So A should be 1 and A should be increment. So A plus, uh, so it should be increment. So it's consider A should be 2, right? So how the compiler knows when he doing need to do this one, what is actually the eighth value? ඒගේ වැලිුව එක මොකක් දෙයක් ගන්න මෙතන ඒට එකත් තියෙන එට දෙකත් තියෙන මොකක් දෙයක් ගන්න ඕන මේ දෙක anyone? I think all of you are probably wondering about this one, right? Since it is the assignment operator, this one, the A should be assigned to the original value of A. So original value of A is 1. Then it going to increment since it is post increment. කියන්නේ ඒගේ ඒට මුලින් assign වෙන්න ඕනේ මෙන්න මේ left මේ right hand side එකේ තියෙන A එකේ initial value එක. Initial value එක 1. As we done in here. හරි. Initial value එක 1. එතකොට ඒට assign වෙන්න ඕනේ 1. හැබැයි දැන් මෙතන increment උත් වෙනවා. ඒතර ඒකේ value එක 1යි ඒට එන්න ඕනේ 2. එතකොට කම්පයිල් එක තීරණය කරන්න ඕනේ එයා ගන්න ඕනේ මේ Aද මේ Aද කියලා ඊළඟ process එකේ. කියන්නේ මෙතෙන්දී. Right? Then why it's going to affect the operator precedence, right? So operator precedence, the assignment operator has a greater precedence. So what is the we need to choose is this one, not this one. ඒ කියන්නේ ඊළඟ operator precedence එක අනුව ඊළඟට yeah choose කරන්නේ මේ එතකොට again A will be going to equal to the increment of A. Then it will be increment of A is 2, and this one going to assign to here, right? So the both are equals, so we can choose either one. So actually we need to choose this one again. So that's why it's print 2 here. And the next operator, A need to first assign to the original value of A. So currently original value is 2, going to assign 2, and it will going to decrement by 1, then again 1. But since the operator precedence, A should be 2, right? This is going to cancel. Again, this one also cancel. And for here, first it's done. Since this is prefix, then it should be decrement. So current value is 2, then it should be 1, and it's going to assign to 1, right? So I think all of you got the answer, right? Do I need to explain it again? මම මේක explain කරන්න ඕනේද? මේ වගේවා ඔයාලට problem එන්න පුළුවන් මේ exam එකේදී. ඒකින්ද හරියට මේ operator precedence එතකොට කොහොමද assign වෙන්නේ, operator assignment operator එක use වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? මේ දේවල් ගැන ඔයාලට clearly idea එකක් තියෙනවා. You need to have a clear idea about the operator precedence, and each operators have actually work in a real problem. So you will ask about. Okay, so I will explain it again. So I guess all of you have so in the left side part is the original value, is the left side number. No. Serini, actually these both are actually the original numbers, right? But the problem is, since these both are referring same value, like same address, so it will going to put the most precedence address to that particular memory address. So this is not going to work. It will going to exist with this one, since the assignment operator is has more higher precedence. The assignment operator has more higher precedence than the these increment operators. So I will explain it again in another way. Your drawings. So I guess all of you are know this one. You can find out what actually happened here. So I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to open the debugger mode. So in my debugger, so here it will going to load all the local variables. So I just declare the variable A. Here it not initialized yet, so that's why it got this number. So I ask you to find out why it is going to have this much of numbers when declaring a variable. You need to find out that one. So I will go to the next slide. Step forward. So now A is assigned to 1. So now our local variable A is what? Can I then initially අපේ variable එක initialize නෙමෙයි declare කරනකොට declare කරනකොට මෙතන ලොකු ඒ වගේ value එකක් එන්නේ ඇයි කියලා ඔයාලා search කරලා බලන්න. ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ කහයි ඇත්තට මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඒක self study කරන්න ඕනේ. And දැන් මම ඊළඟ line එක execute කරන්නේ මගේ debug එකෙන්. ඒකින්ද දැන් මෙතන initialize වුණා එකට අපි මෙතන specify කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Then it's going to execute this line. So it will going to print that one. Let's go to the next slide. Something happened to the debugger. That's why you don't see the output actually. So however, it will print out this A as one. Now it will run this one. Then you can find out what is actually the value of A. Step into, you see, this value is not going to change because actually A should be 2, but when assigning A is equal to 1, so it cannot replace that this one. Now it's going to evaluate this one, and you can see when it is evaluated, this value is going to increase by 1. Did you see that it's increased by 1? Because first it should be increment, since this is the pre-increment. So first initially our S value was 1, and it will increment and to increment by 1, and it will going to sign that day. So our A is 2. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙතන pre-increment එකකින් නිසා අපේ එක තව පාරක් increment වෙනවා. ඒකින්ද ඒක 2 වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මෙතනින් එක print වෙනවා. දැන් මෙතනින් අපි ආයේ ඒ value එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේක decrement කරන නිසා decrement කරත් මෙතන මුලින් අපි මෙතන pre-increment forced increment එක තියෙන නිසා මුලින් ඒට assign වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒක හින්දා A ගේ value එක 2ම තමා මේ operator precedence එකෙන් ඒක වෙනස් කරන්නේ නැහැ. Right? And when executing this one, so first it should be decrement. Then it's going to assign to this one. So it should be 1 again. Right? To change this one. It has changed. Let's see, going to print. So let's run the same thing from here in the debugger mode. So you will see. So I have few variables A, B, C, D, E. So they have a different when initialized different values, and we step over. Now A is 1. So B will be when executing this line, B will be assigned with the current value of A, and then A is going to increment. Right? So current value of A was 1, and A is now increment. Now A is 2. Now it is going to print here. And C again will be going to assign the increment of A. So increment of A will be 3, and C will be going to assign with 3. Right? So එතකොට minus A වලදී හරිනම් මේ සමාන බිඳුව වෙන්න ඕනේ. D equals to 9 inside. No. In the first one, can be minus A එකේදී initially A වල value එක තිබ්බේ 2. හැබැයි දැන් ඔයාලට තේරෙයි මේ කෝඩ් එක එක්සිකියුට් කරලා මේ ලාස්ට් ලයින් එකට එනකොට ඒ වල වැලියු එක 0 වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මොකද මේකේ ඒගේ එක්සයිට් වැලියු එක තමයි මේ වෙනස් වෙන්නේ. අරකෙදි අපි අසයින්මන්ට් ඔපරේටර් එකේ හින්දා ඒ වල බිහේවියර් එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. අසයින්මන්ට් ඔපරේටර් එකේ ප්‍රෙසිඩන්ස් එක වැඩි හින්දා තමයි හැමතිස්සෙම ඒ වලට අසයින්මන්ට් ඔපරේටර් එකකින් එන වැලියු එක තියාගන්න. Right, C is going to print with 3, and here D. D will be first assigned with the current value of A. So current value of A කියන්නේ 3යි. So D 3 තමා මේක assign වුණාම හැබැයි A decrement වෙන නිසා A ගේ value එක 2 වෙනවා. Right. දැන් මෙතන assign වෙන්නේ 1 ඊට. Right. So our A is again 1. P is 1, 3, C is 3, D is 3, E is 1. So I think I have mistaken to say here A will be 0. Actually, the A will be actually the 1. Right. මම හිතන්නේ code blocks එකේ dev C++ එකේ debug එක තියෙනවා. ඔයාලට මේ local variables කියන්නේ මොනවද ඉස්සරහට මේ lecture එකේදීත් ගොඩක් ඔයාලට කියලා දෙයි. දැනට මතක තියාගන්න ඩිබග් එකෙන් අපිට මේව variables වෙනස් වෙන හැටි එහෙම තව functions වලට අපි කොහොමද වැඩ කරන්නේ ඒවා හැම දෙයක්ම අපිට ඩිබග් එකෙන් අත්තම බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Yeah, it is the garbage data. Yeah, you're right, Sahan. I think you can put into the what call it, the forum as well. Yeah. So I'll show that one. So Sahan, what you can do is you can put your so I will put into the all chat as well. Everyone can see this is the Sahan's message. And Sahan, what you can do is you can put that your finding to the discussion forum so the others can also see. And make sure to put the link also where you have found out, or if you have read it, please put the reference as well. Then others can when there and read the particular thing for themselves. That's it. So thank you for that one. Uh, and the another thing. In last week, did you able to solve this one? When executing this code, we got 22, right? Anyone able to find out why it happened? So as I taught you, this should be the value 21, right? Make a value එක 21 වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඇයි මෙතන value එක 22 උනේ? කවුරු හරි හොයාගත්තද ඒක? Anyone? Please raise your hand if you didn't able to find out what happened there. ඔගොල්ලෝ හොයාගත්තේ නැත්නම් එතරයි value එක 22 උනේ 21 වෙන්නේ නැතුව ඒක හොයාගත්තේ නැත්නම් අත උස්සන්න. I don't see anyone raise their hands, so that means so everyone have I see one hand. How about others? So all of you have find out what is this? So then I can ask someone to so I see quite of hands now. So how about others? So do you know, you can explain. එක්ක ළමෙක් හරි දන්නවා නම් කියන්න මං කවුරු හරි අත උස්සලා නැත්තම් මං එයාට කියනවා කියන්න කියලා. අද මට පොඩ්ඩක් සනීප නැතු වෙන්නේ එතකොට මට ලේසි ඔයාලා හෙල්ප් කරන්න පුළුවන් නම්. Okay, I will easy for you. So I have declared some variables here and initialize them. Uh, so num2 is will be equals to the plus num. That means 6, 5, 6, and again uh, the increment of this. So 5, 6, 7. So am I doing wrong if I change this to number 2? Nothing wrong here, right? So number 2 is 6, and the increment of number 2 will be 7, right? And here for number 3. So let's comment this one and this one, and let's run this code. Right, you can see that one, right? So actually the value should be 21 as I explained that day, but we change here to the num again. So plus num should be increment to 6, and then it will going to the num 6, and it is increment again 7, and it is increment again 8, and this should be the summation of 6, 7, and 8 should be 21. But when we do this one, let's run the same thing again. So value is 22. So actually what is happening? So actually this is the tricky part when you are coding. So I will explain this in this way. State annotator. So for the simplicity, let's close this one. For the simplicity, I will only take this one. So it will going to remove this one. Oh yeah, someone has put into the chat. What I found was something when there are more expressions like post implement in one single expression to update the same variable, the compilers tend to give various orders to execute that line. Right. Actually, the compiler tend to give various orders. Uh, Thank you, Sahan. But actually, what are those various orders? So for the simplicity, I will edit this code this way. So now it's only in, the summation of these two. So what is the summation of 6 plus 7? Should be 13, right? So let's run this one. So what happening? Value is 14. So it's to get that value, it should be like 7 plus 7. 7 එකතු කිරීම 7 වෙන්න ඕනේ අඩුම ගානේ. Yeah, it happened due to the compiler problem. So let's change this num to number 2, and then we can compile it and see, right? Now we getting the same answer. Suffix and postfix have higher precision than the parentheses. No. Parenthesis has the higher precedence. Yeah, I need to check that suffix and postfix operators have higher precedence than parenthesis operator. Yeah. First it should run this one, then the parenthesis will come. So I think you correct. Oh, maybe I will check that one actually. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I need to check that one. What is actually the higher precedence? So, however, it should first it should do the inside uh, section of the parenthesis. Then it will go to execute. Like it will initially do this one. Yeah. Then the parenthesis should have high precedence. So it will go into execute this one first and this one first and next this one. Uh, yeah, I think Kalhar, can you put into the chat of everyone so others can see also the reference. So I will go to that one. Thank you. This is about operator precedence. So I will put into. Thank you, Kalhar, for publishing that one. So as mentioned here, yeah, the so it has the same precedence, right? Precedence one. No, I see the uh, precedence here as the same operators here as well. Here the force piece. This is the prefix. So force fix has higher precedence. Yeah. So I will explain what actually happened here. So in your lecture also, so I have mentioned the infix and force fix, right? So that means uh, when there are two operands, like say A plus B. So this is the operator. Then these are the operands. So in compiler, it will. So there is three ways. It will going to compute the value. So it can be infix as this one or prefix as plus AB or the postfix AB then the summation. So it is compiler to decide which one is taking. So in C compilers there are two uh, actually probable ways. The left increment or the right uh, uh, or the right one. So I will clear this one. So in MING so this is MING-GW compiler. So the GCC actually what is happening is first it will going to assign the number, this particular number 6 here and the 7 here. Then actually it going to get the summation, right? But since the corresponding value is clear, so here it is now like it has the same num. කියන්නේ මෙතන නම් කියන එක එකම value එක තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මුලින්ම මෙතන 6 නම් කියන එකට 6 assign වෙනවා. Oh, simply I choose num as n, so it first assign 6, and the same one will be assigned again. First n will be 6, and the same n will be assigned again. Assign 7 to the same variable n, our num. So first it is 6, then it is 7. But the since this is right or right what's called as say this one postfix, so then it going to get this summation. That means not the 6 but actually the n. As mentioned ab plus, since the same n going to add again. First is assign this one and then this one, then it going to add. Since this is the same n, the compiler can't identify the previous value, this one it cannot identify, so it taken this value as the current value 7, then it going to plus this one 7 7 and will give the answer 40. Right, so take actually the name. Sure, yeah, sure. I will explain it again. I need the name of this happened there. Yeah, it's called the right evaluation. Right evaluation or the postfix. ආයෙ explain කරන්න. drawing. ඒ කියන්නේ compile එක decide කරන්න ඕනේ left evaluation ද right evaluation ද කරන්න කියලා. එතකොට ඒක compile එකේ තමා මේක left evaluation නම් ඒ කියන්නේ මුලින්ම එයා මේ summation එක කරන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. That means it's no 6 plus something, but since it is the right evaluation, it's first take num and it's take the this one again, and then it going to evaluate this one, right? So since this n is updated to 7, he can't identify the old value of this one, so it will take this one as the current value, then it will go into summation. So what is the value? It should be 40. And fit at the whole 3, that means this one, then should be 6 7 8, but actually what happened is it is 7 7 and 8, so I will explain that one as well. So first 6 and the number will be increment again 7, then it is going to get the summation, this one. Since it don't know the value of this one, this will also taken as this. What is 7 7? It is 14. Then the 14 will be going to summation of then 14, then again num number plus plus. That means currently num is 7, so it should be 8. Then it going to get the summation 14 plus 8 is 22. It's called the right evaluation. So other thing is the left evaluation, right? So it's something for the compiler. So the problem is if such kind of question will ask in your exam. So I guess the both answers are okay, since the I mean 21 and 22 both should be okay, since it is compiler to decide which answer is going to give. So usually is uh, uh, stick with this value 21, because we know that value is going to give uh, when we have used this kind of three different variables like this one. So that means here num is 5, and since it is plus plus, so the updated value going to use here 6. Then the updated value 7 plus 8 equal to 21, right? හිතනවා එක ඔයාලට තේරුන්න ඇති කියලා. ඔයාලට තේරුන්නේ නැත්නම් පොඩ්ඩක් තව සර්ච් කරලා බලන්න. ඉතින් දැන් the topic එකට යමු. So today's topic is about control structures. So I guess many of you have already used these structures for your lab sheet as well. Again, if you have any questions, there were few students, so I guess it's past the deadline, but make sure to upload your code to the LMS. Right? Other there there will be penalty for late submissions. So I see someone have raised their hand. Devindi and Venumi and Amanda, why you two have raised your hands? I think, is it mistaken? If you have questions, you can ask, and make sure to rename your name to your index number and the first name. The otherwise it will be hard to mark your attendance. ඔයාලගේ නම මේ ඉන්ඩෙක්ස් නම්බර එකටයි ඔයාලගේ ෆස්ට් නේම් එකටයි රිනේම් කරගන්න අපිට මේ මාර්ක් ෂීට් ඇටෙන්ඩන්ස් මාර්ක් කරගන්න ඒක ඊසි වෙනවා. මේ ගොඩක් අමාරුයි නමෙන් විතරක් හොයන්න. සමහරට මාර්ක් කරන්න එකකුත් නැති. Right? So again, if you have any questions about the lab sheet, you can ask, and make sure to do all the lab sheets timely. If you didn't able to do the lab sheets, please upload them. However, you will get a penalty since you have exceeded the time, but however it's there will be some marks, right? So the controlling structures. close these tabs. So control structures are just, as it's mentioned here, just a way to specify flow of control or analyze the direction, or check whether the certain parameters or their conditions. So there is three such ways, like in sequential flow, or in a conditional flow, or in a repetitive flow. So I have taken this from Geek of Geeks. You can go visit that web page, and you can have your own self-learning can be done there. So what is this sequential logic or sequential flow? So when you are coding, you know it will going to execute the code next line after the next line. That means the sequential. So that means the first it will going to execute the first one, the first module. Then sequentially will going to execute next modules. Will be module C likewise. So those are depend on, as mentioned here, series of instruction given to the computer. So we can change that one by using uh, conditional or control structures. So in conditional flow, the first one, selection logic. Selection logic, as mentioned here, simply involves the number of condition or parameters, which is decided one out of several written modules. And the logic are known as the conditional structure. So you have used, I think someone of you have already used this statement, if statement, if else, and if else if statement. So that means the single alternative. So that as mentioned, if let's say if either one or the other one. So if there is two alternatives, as I mentioned, if either one or other one, then it is double alternative. If something need to happen, it should be some kind of a condition. Then it will be single alternative, or there can be multiple alternatives. So let's check the first one. And before that, so I will explain the next one as well, the iteration logic. So that means it will going to execute the several statements or several instructions again and again. So there is two ways you can do in programming, not only C, in other programming languages as well. The one is for structure and the while structure. So let's go to the first one. So everyone, so if this statement is same as the what you call uh, logical flow diagrams. You first you start with using the begin, and there is rectangles and squares. So I will draw that one, something like this. So it will, this one is the start. Then you can have some inputs, and there can be some instructions as well. And in sometimes when you are running the code, there is a uh, there is a condition. So it should be, if say some value, say equals 5, if then let's say equals, it should be less than 10. If yes, should be run in this way. If no, should be run in this way, right? So this is the diagram for that one. So in C programming, this is how you are doing the coding. So it should be if keyword, then there is the condition, and within bracket you can add the action. Vikramasinghe, do you have any question? Okay. And so this condition should be a Boolean, right? So say you can use this ones and some double assignment and less than or equal is one. So you can use any Boolean to this one. Either you can simply can choose 0 and 1, then it will automatically going to execute. Actually, if you put 0, it never going to execute this one. It's only going to execute this action when it is 1. ඒක එතන condition එක true වුණොත් විතරයි, කියන්නේ 1 වුණොත් විතරයි මේ action එක වැඩ කරන්නේ. Otherwise it's not going to execute, right? So let's see a simple program. So what is the task here? It's simply going to scan a number, and it will going to input that number to this jth variable, and to going to print the number. And if it is greater than 0, that means it's a positive number. So let's see. Right. So let's run this code and find out. Let's take 100. So number is 100 and it is a positive number. And let's run the same thing and put minus value. Minus 100. So only print this one, right? And the next one, if else statement. So if the condition is true, then it will going to execute this action, the first one. And if this is false, that means else, then it will going to execute this one. So I will give you 5 minutes. Please update the previous code, this one, to check whether the given number is positive. You need to print it is positive. If it is negative, you need to print it is negative using this if else statement. One of you need to present to the whole class. So I will be give you not 5 minutes, it will be enough 2 minutes. So this is the code you need to update. Yeah, I will try to put into the chat as well, then it will be easy. Please update this code. If you have finished, please unmute yourself and you can present it to the class. Sahan, can you able to explain that code? Uh, so I will stop sharing this one. I think you can share now. Okay. Can you able to at least show your see make it visible? ඔයාට ඒක මේ පොඩ ෂෙයා කරලා හරි පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන්ද කට්ටියට? අන්මියුට් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Oh, okay, nice. You are using online compiler. So I think all of you can see, right? Simply in the else statement, you need to print just the value. Right, thank you. Uh, Thank you, Sahan. Okay, let me share. Right, so same code. uh, so the next one, nested if. That means if there is a condition, we'll print the first one. If the condition is different, like the next condition else if not this one but this one, then we're going to execute this statement, second one. And if uh, the condition is neither the first one or the second one, neither both, then we're going to execute the third one, right? So that is net study. Or otherwise, you can simply put a if condition inside the if condition. That also a nested if. So I have example. So simply the code for uh, inserting your grade. So here we'll have your mark. Let's say if it is 80, I think you will be getting A if you have more than 75 as I guess. Or more than 85, I think it is A plus. So this is simply for the code. So let's consider if it is marks is equal to or greater than 80, then it will be grade A. and if it is greater than 60, otherwise then it is going to grade B, and else if the marks is greater than 40, then it is going to grade C. If neither of these, then it will be D. So I think I code that one as well. This is the LCF, and then it's the diff. Since it is 65, it's not in this one. It should be in this one. Less greater than or equal to 60. So it is greater than 60. It should be grade B, right? So in especially C language, there is a nice keyword or nice statement. Switch statement is doing the same thing. The nested if, right? If like if this is will use this will use if there are more conditional statements, like more statements, like someone like when you mention about the AI also call it as the nested of AI is not the case, but just a meme. So let's consider that means. So those can be easily done by using switch statement. So that means switch can use many conditions and it is very easy to code it. And the else statement here it's use the default. The keyword is default for else. That means the default value. If neither a condition, it will go into use default. And you need to have a clear idea about this break. So I will explain in next slide. So you need to clearly know how to use this break keyword. So clear our drawing. So this is the coding you need to done in C. So first you need to insert a variable and then the expression, and then the expression, and then it will run this statement, and you need to have a break. If that not the case, if this break is not there, then it's going to execute this one as well. If it is in it is true for this expression or this condition, if it is true, then it will going to execute this the expression 2 as well if you don't use this break. So I will do a demo, and if the break is uh, state clearly as in this one, then if this expression is if the case is this expression, so it will not going to execute this one since we have break in this from here. So if it is neither each condition, so it will going to execute this one. So I will explain it again through the code. So this is my simple code. So I have declare a variable a character for a fruit. So first I will type which one is your favorite fruit. So I will printf So A is for apples, B is for bananas, C is for cherries. If other words, so that means you have entered the invalid choice. So in switch case, as I mentioned here as well, first you need to pass this variable. That means case A. That means this fruit is equals to this A, right? If it is fruit equals to this A, then it will going to print this one. If this fruit is equal to B, then it will going to print this one. And if fruit is C, it will going to print the last one. Last one. If consider this break is not there, only this semicolon, and you if it is the case B, right, it will going to print you like bananas and uh, uh, and again it will going to pass to this one as well. So let's find out. So this is the simple code. So simply let's say apple. So it print you like apples. Say B. So then you like bananas as mentioned here. And let's put something else. Uh, State. Say D. So entered invalid choice. So let's comment on this one. Say A. So I only execute this one, right? A. You like apples. And it print the this one as well. You like bananas. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මේ බ්‍රේක් එක නැත්තම් එයා මේ මෙතනින් එක්සිකියුට් වෙන එක නවත්තන්නේ නැහැ. එයා ඊළඟ ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකත් එක්සිකියුට් කරලා තමයි නවත්තන්නේ. Did you understand that? We comment this one as well. So there is no break, right? Let's run this code A. So you like all these three options, right? And let's put B. So then only two. That means it's going to run these two. And C, then only the cherries. Let's comment this one as, let's find out what's happened. And A, right? We're going to print out all the values. It's that's how it's happened. So break is the most important keyword when you are using switch statements, right? I think you have clearly understand that, right? Do I need to explain it again? Students? Okay, let's move forward then. So this is up to the basic conditional flow in the selection logic. Single alternative, double alternative, or multiple alternative. So in the multiple alternatives, we in C, it has switch statement as well. And Yeah, you can draw flow charts as well to just identify what's actually happened here. And let's move to this section, iteration logic. So there are four structure, while structure, and there is a another nice one in C called do while. So let's uh, talk about them as well. So again, do you have any questions up to now? Okay, I guess no one has any questions. So while is provide mechanism for repeating C statement. So like that means so some of you have already used these ones. So in while, if this condition is true, then it will going to execute this program statement forever till this condition is going to false, or uh, mm, C should be zero. Only zero and one are there, right? Zero means false and one is true. If this condition is one, then it will not going to false forever. So that means it will going to execute throughout the this program statement in somewhere down the line when it is going to fall. So I will explain that one as well. That means in somewhere down the line, when you're executing program statement, you can break, or you can uh, go out from this iterative loops or iterative statements like while and for loop. So this is the simple uh, this is the simple way. This is the syntax how to write the while statement. So let's have a quick demo, right? So this is going to print stars. So j is currently 0, and j is while j is less than or equal to 10, it will going to print star, and then j is increment to 1. That means since j 0, j is 0, then it's going to uh, print as star, and j is going to increment by 1. That means j will be 1, and it will going to check the statement again. Since 1 is less than 10, it will going to print another star, and j will be increment to 2. So likewise, till this j is 11, not 10. Let's consider 10. So now j is 10. So j is less than or equal to that. Since it is true, it will going to print a star again, and j will going to increment by 1. Then it will be 11, and it will going to check this condition again. So 11 is not less than or equal to 10, so not going to print anyone. Then it will going to exit from this block. Sorry, not that block, this block. Right. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙතන මුලින්ම j ගේ වැලියු එක බිඳුවයි. ඊට පස්සේ j ගේ බිඳුවට වඩා කුඩායි 10 බිඳුව කුඩායි සමානයි 10. ඒතකොට තරව print කරලා j ගේ වැලියු එකකින් වැඩි කරනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ j 1යි. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක ආයි check කරනවා මේ condition එකෙන් j එකට වඩා එකට එක කුඩා හෝ සමානයි 10. ඔව්. තොර ආයෙත් පාරක් print කරනවා තරුවක්. And j will be 2. j ඊට පස්සේ value එක increment කරන ඉඳ දැනට 1 දැන් 2 වෙනවා. ඒ විදිහට 10ට යනවා 10 දිත් මේක print වෙනවා. මොකද 10 සමානයි 10. ඒකෙන්ද print වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මෙතනින් 11 වෙනවා. 11 වුණාම මේක loop එක නවතිනවා. මොකද තවදුරටත් 10ට වඩා කුඩා හෝ සමාන නැහැ. ඒකින්ද exit වෙලා මේ මෙතනින් ඉඳලා execute වෙන්න ගන්නවා. So I will show that one. So that means how many stars? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means 11 stars, right? It's someone asks, is it a loop? Yes, it is a loop, not kind of a for loop. It will going to iterate, or it will going to run the same code, same line inside this while condition. That means this section for an till this the condition is going to fall. So it will going to execute these ones as from a iterative loop. So let's run the code. So let's count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Some mix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stars are there. So how about this code? We initialize j, declare an initialize j equals to 1, and we declare a variable f. So so I have put printf to say enter 3 numbers. So j should be less than or equal to 3, and it will printf the number, enter one number, and then means to enter the first number, and it will going to scan this one, and the number is going to print, and j will be incremented by 1. So since it is the loop, this will execute these ones till this condition is going to false. So let's find out. So this is the code. So I will run it. So it is asked for the first number, let's say 100. So it is print that number, the second number, say 300, and minus 1, 2, 3, and execute. So those tools can be used to do the same thing over and over again, right? All we do not need to write these ones in a like incremental way. Using only a while loop, you can do the same thing over and over again. So if you know about like a machine language, so there is a keyword called jump. So that jump will use to do the same thing, but I'm not sure about we'll going to learn those things maybe in computer systems organization course, you will going to learn about this thing. So that jump keyword is actually the keyword is in the machine level to use to do the same thing. It is used for both for loops and while loops. So there is another example to print stars. So I have upload your lab sheet as well. I will make it available. Uh, so I will make it available. Right. So there is a question to print those star patterns. So I think can do those things after I taught you the today's lecture, today's tutorial session, or if you willing to do more, you can add more to this one, and you can print them as well. One thing is you need to print those these six star patterns, and if you willing to do more, you can add more things as well. It's up to you. Okay. So I will show that one as well. Right. It's going to print a one star pattern. There. So same thing can be do using for loops as well. So I will explain them as well. Before that, so there is a another loop or another iterative approach in especially C, that is do while. So in do while statement, uh, this program statement, the statement that we are referring, will execute at least one. That means it will, however, it will going to execute this one. Then it will check the condition. And if the condition true, then it will going to execute this one again. Likewise, uh, after execute this one, then it will going to check this the condition, and it will going to execute again and again till this condition false. That means, however, at least one time it will going to execute this statement. That is the do while. So this is the example. The first one is only using while loop. So j is declare initialized -10. So what you mean previous one? Oh, you mean this one? For star pattern, you can use this the pre-increment as it's nothing wrong because there is no assignment or anything happen. So the pre-increment and post-increment both are will be have the same value, right? So when explaining here, just j is -10, and is j is greater than 0? No, right? So it will only going to execute. It's not going to execute this while loop. Then it's going to end up the while. In here, it will going to actually print the number because uh, however it is minus 10, it will execute this code for at least one. Let's check that. Right, end of the while, not going to print this one, and it's has print this one, and from here number is minus 10 in do while, it have print this one, and from that onwards it's not going to print. Let's put this to minus 1, then what will, let's check what is happening. No, actually 0. Let's check what's going to happen. Can you see? Stop this executing. Let's comment this one. So let's check with right. It's since our j is 0, it's not going to execute this one, and it's not. So in that case, j is not going to increment. But here, it will going to execute this one, however, without checking this condition, and it will going to print what, and j is will be increment, and then it will going to print if j will be increment, so j will be 1, so j is now is greater than 0, so that's why it's going to print this j again and again. So in that 2-3 seconds it's going up to 9600. Right, so let's do something like this. If j is say 10, need to have a double sign break. Now let's run this one. Right, so here so I will explain this break in next few slides. So here what I did was I have a break statement for exit from this j, because it will not going to false forever, it's going to keep increasing, and I put a condition where if it is equal to 10, if j is equal to 10, it's not going to execute this state, it's going to go out from this loop, and it is going to execute from here. So in that case, you can break out from such kind of a loop. ඒ කියන්නේ මම මෙතන කරේ break statement එකක් use කළ මෙන්න මේ වගේ condition එකකින් මම මෙන්න මේ loop එකෙන් අයින් වෙන්න හැදුවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේක check කරනකොට මෙන්න මේ condition එක හැමතිස්සෙම check කරනවා. check කරලා ඒ condition එක true නම් එයා එතනින් අයින් වෙනවා. මෙන්න මේ අපේ while loop එක execute කරන loop එකෙන් අයින් වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අයින් වෙන්නේ මෙතන තියෙන first loop එකකින් විතර. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙතන nested while loops තිබ්බා නම් ඒ while loop එකේ intermediate while loop එකෙන් එයා අයින් වෙනවා. මම ඒක explain කරන්න ඉස්සරහට. කොහොම හරි ආ දැනට 9 විතර වෙනකන් විතර print කරලා එතනින් ඉවර වුණා මේ condition එකකින්. So you can see that both are 0, so it is going to check in the first place, so it's not equal to j is not greater than 0, so it's not going to execute this one. it's going to execute for at least one. And since it will going to increment from here, the j's value will be 1. Since it is 1, uh, when we are checking this statement or checking the condition will be true. So it will going to execute this code over and over again, right? So this is about for loop. So for loop is similar to while, but it has different kind of syntax. So in for loop, the first argument should be to initialize the variable, and the second argument you going to in the second argument here you're going to test the condition, and then you're going to increment a value. In while loops didn't have this kind of structure, but when you are running your code inside the while, you have these ones increment values. So here this is that increment value. This is that increment value to execute to exit a particular statement, and this is actually the code you are running, and here this is the initialization. And for this while loop, this is the initialization of the variable, this is the condition, and here it is the increment. So what you need to know is, in while you can run a code without having these ones, right? However, for the inserting the condition, you need to have some kind of a variable or something. But in for loop, it is necessary to have those in through the for loop itself. So this is the execution way or execution flow, what is actually happening. So first it will initialize the value. Here in here I have declared the variable, and here I have initialized. This is the first statement for the first statement going to execute in a for loop. So I will, that's why I marked it as the first. Then the second one is check whether this uh, the initialize our condition. Condition is to check the count is less than or equal to 10. Then it will going to execute our code. After executing the code in the for loop, then it will going to check, going to increment this count. After incrementing it, then it will going to check again of this condition, right? So after initialization, then it will going to iterate in this flow. It will going to iterate in this flow over and over again till this count is false, or this condition is false. uh, so this is that same star pattern, right? Same thing, I will run it. This one nice. This one, right? This is the same star pattern. So what is happening here? So there is nested for loops. So in first for loop, A is initialized to 1, and we check whether A is less than or equal to 5, and A will going to increment. And in the second for loop, we check whether, so in second for loop, in this only this section is belongs to the second for loop. So we initialize B to 1, and we check whether B is less than or equals to our this A, and we're going to increment this one. So initially A is equal to 1, and B is also equal to 1, and it's going to print a star, right? And it's going to increment this B. So now B is 2, and check whether 2 is equal, greater than or equals to A is 1. So it is false. So we're going to print a new line. New line means it will go past to the second line, right? So this for loop is the section for this for loop is this one. Now after this one, it is going to this. Now A is going to increment. Now A is 2, right? A is 2. Now it's going to run this for loop again. Now B is again initialized to 1, and we check 1 is less than or equals to 2. Now A is 2, and since yes, it is going to print a star, right? And we increment the B. Now B is 2, and check whether B is 2, 2 is less than or equals to A is 2. So it is again true. Then going to print another stars here in this line, and we're going to increment it again. So now B is 3, and 3 is not less than or equals to 2. So what we do? Still going to exit from this for loop and going to print the new line. New line means go back to the next step. So likewise, we're going to print 3 stars, going to next line. Likewise, we're going to execute this one, right? මම එකයි ඔයාලට explain කරන්න. දැන් මෙතන for loop දෙකක් තියෙනවා, nested for loops. මේක තමා මේ for loop එක section එක. මේ ලොකු මුල්ම initial for loop එක section එක මේක. හරි. එතකොට ඒ තියෙන්නේ ඒ වලට initialize කරලා තියෙන එක. ඊට පස්සේ අපි check කරනවා, අපි ඊට පස්සේ මේක run වෙනවා. එක ඊට පස්සේ මෙතන check කරනවා ඒ කියන එක පාට වඩා අඩුද කියලා. පාට වඩා අඩුයි එක හින්දා ඊට පස්සේ මේක run වෙන්න ගන්නවා. ඒ for loop එක ඇතුලේ. for loop එක ඇතුලේ තව for loop එකක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට b කියන එක initialize වෙනවා 1. ඊට පස්සේ එක කුඩා හෝ සමානයි 1. ඒක ඇත්ත ඒකින්ද තරුව print වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ආයි මේ for loop එක check කරනවා, b increment කරනවා. එතකොට b කියන්නේ 2යි. 2 කුඩා හෝ සමාන 1 නෙමෙයි. ඒකින්ද එයා මේ for loop එක exit වෙනවා. exit වෙලා එයා යනවා මේ for loop එකේ end එක මෙතෙන්ට. එතකොට එතන තියෙන new line එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙතනින් ඊළඟ line එකට පයින්. එතකොට ඊළඟ line එකට පැනනහම එයා මේ a කියන එක increment කරනවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ path එක හරියට මතක තියාගන්න, for loop එක execute වෙනකොට path එක. එතකොට මේක increment කරනවා. එතකොට දැන් a කියන්නේ මුලින් 1යි, increment කරාම 2යි. එතකොට 2 පාට වඩා අඩුයි. ඊට මෙතන දෙවෙනි එක for loop එක exit වෙනවා. එතකොට එක කුඩා 2 වෙනවා. එතකොට මේකේ තරුවක් print වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඊළඟ step එකේදී මෙතන b කියන්නේ 2 වෙනවා. මෙතන increment වෙන හින්දා. එතකොට 2 කුඩා හෝ සමානයි 2 වෙනවා. ඒකත් ඇත්ත. ඊට පස්සේ තව තරුවක් print වෙලා b ආ increment වෙනවා. b 3 3 කුඩායි 2 කියන එක වැරදි. ඒකින්ද මේ for loop එක exit වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ආයි යා මෙතෙන්ට යනවා. ඊට පස්සේ new line. මේ විදියට දිගට දිගට ගිහිල්ලා අන්තිමට මේකේ ඒ කියන්නේ පහනේ. පහනේ අන්තිම වෙන්න ඕනේ 5යි. ඒතර එකේ ඉඳලා 5 වෙනකන් තරු 5ක් print කරනවා. අන්තිමට. 1 2 3 4 5. ඊට කලින් එක තරයි මේ එක තමා අපේ තරටාවෙන්. ඔයාලට ඒ වගේ තරටාවක් when you are printing those star patterns, you need to clearly have an idea how it's going to execute. What is the next execution line? So in this one, there is a variable called count and number. So count is 1, initialized to 1, and number. So this is has another different variable here. These two are different. It can be done. Only we need to have a condition. Number is should be greater than, less than, or equal to 1000, and we have put a condition as a and condition, and count should be less than 5. Here count equals count plus 1. It is same as c plus o equals to 1, right? Since this is plus 1, we can simply say c plus plus. Right? So these three, c equals to c plus 1 and c plus o equals to 1, c plus plus, both are equal. The all three are equal. And here it has a condition. It should be true, both these statements. Number should be less than 1000 and count should be less than 5. And printf, it will first uh, print the count, and we have set a number here, and and it will going to scan that number. Let's run that code and find out what happened. One, right? This code will be print 10 numbers, right? So I'll run execute. This is code for print 10 numbers. Count equals 1, count less than equals to 10, and count plus plus. This is the star pattern. This is that. Let's simply replace something 9,999. Since this is this condition is wrong, it's not going to execute. This enter number like 100, and it will ask for the second number, 100,000, 956 4 5. So it have asked for 5 numbers. That means till this condition is and false. Let's take 455, and here something for 9,999. Right? Since this is false in the second iteration, it's going to exit. Right? You can do these kind of tricks as well. Yeah, you can use the plus plus count. However, you need to so this is another statement. So this should be something to exit from this for loop. So I will add that one as well. So it is here, right? It is same. So here I is initialized to 0 and j is initialized to 5 and k is initialized to -1. So there is 3 initialization in a single statement. 3 initialization. You can do these ones as well. Here only the checking the condition and you increment I, j and decrease the k. Right. So what is happen? It is going to print out 10 times since I is equal to 0 and 10 times and we're going to increment j and decrement k. I think this is what. Let's run and see. Initially 0, 5, 1, 5 minus 1, 1, 6 minus 2, likewise 9, 14 minus 10. Since it is started from 0 to 9, so it is 10 times. Right. So break statement. So I initially presented the demo as well. So as mentioned here, the break keyword forces immediate exit from the nearest enclosing loop. So you need to aware immediate exit and nearest enclosing loop. So here there is only a single loop, this for loop. So it is going to exit from this for loop. So the case like this, the previous ones like this. Uh, if the for loop has the break here. So for the handwriting, so if break happen here, then it will only exit from this loop, right? Or if you need to exit from this loop, the break should be somewhere down here inside that loop. It is not going to exit from this main loop when the break is something inside this section. So that means it is only going to break from the immediate loop. So here what it's actually happen is it is always going to increment this I till 10 and so from 0 to 10, so it is again 10 times. So if it is I equals less than or equal to, then it is 11 times. In it's considered the 10 as well. So here it's only 10 time iterations and you're going to scan and put the scan value to j, and if j is negative 0 or negative value, it's going to go out from this loop. So let's check that one. From this code, let's stay 10, so positive, and let's take -1. So it is going to break out from that loop. So let's run it again. 10, 5, 7, and let's see -85. You can see, right? It is going to try 10 times till, or if we initiate give it, input a minus value, then it is going to break from that loop. So then what is this continue keyword? So as mentioned here, the continue keyword was the next iteration of the nearest enclosing loop. That means if we run in this code and if continue happen, it will not going to run that particular loop, and it will go forced to run the next iteration of that same loop. So let's check this one, continue, and here, so I will explain it from here. So we have declared two variables, I and j. So now j is 1 and j is till j is less than 10. That means again 9 times, and we're going to increment the same j. And if j is divisible by 3, that means like 3 6 9, and if we divide 369 from 3, the value will be 0, right? The remainder will be 0. That means j can divisible by 3, and it's going to continue. That means these statements are not going to execute when this continue happen. That means if j is 3 6 or 9, the for loop will be going to post next iteration. That means if j is 3, not going to execute the following code line. That means these sections not going to execute. Then it's going to execute the next one. That means they will be increment 1 by 1. And then it means 4, and 4 is not divisible by 3, and it will going to print that one. That means 1 2, not 3 4 5, not 6 7 8, not 9, it's not going to execute 10. One, 2, 4, 5, 7, not 6, 7, 8. right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔක තේරුණා නේද? ඒ කියන්නේ break එකේදී නම් වෙන්නේ මේකෙන් exit වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ divisible by 3 නම් එයා මෙතනින් එහාට මේ for loop එකම ආයි run වෙන්නේ නැහැ. continue නම් ඒ අපි දැනට run වෙන loop එක එයා එතනින් run වෙන එක නවත්තලා ඊළඟ loop එක run වෙන ගන්නවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි එතන break දාලා බලමුද? නම් බලමු. ඒ කියන්නේ එක එනවා දෙක එනවා තුන තුනෙන් බෙදනවා break. ඒ කියන්නේ එතනින් එහාට ආයි මෙයා run වෙන්නේ නැහැ. continue එකේදී වෙන්නේ ඒ මේක 3 වෙන එක රන් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි එතනින් එහාට රන් වෙන්න ගන්නවා. 3 රන් වෙන්නේ නැහැ, 4 රන් වෙනවා, 5 රන් වෙනවා, ආයි 6 රන් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද J කියන එක J6 නම් 6 3න් හරියටම බෙදෙනවා. ඒකින්ද මේක true වෙනවා. true වෙච්ච ඉඳ මෙතන continue keyword එක වැඩ කරන ඉඳ මේ loop එකේ ඒ statement එක තවදුරටත් රන් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එතනින් එහාට ආයේ 4 ඉඳලා රන් වෙන්න ගන්නවා. You see 1 2 not going to run 4 3, then going to run 4 5 not 6 7 8. කියන මේකෙන් පුළුවන් සමහරක් වගේ ලූප් එක ඇතුලේ සමහරක් අවස්ථා අයින් කරන්න. බ්‍රේක් එකෙන් වෙන්නේ එයා එතනින් අයින් වෙනවා සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම මේ ලූප් එක රන් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි කන්ඩිෂන් එකක් true වෙච්ච ගමන් එයා මේ for loop එකේ exit වෙනවා. continue එකෙන් loop එකෙන් exit වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි මේ particular iteration එක නවත්තනවා. right. So that's up to today's session. So students, do you have any questions regarding today's session? And I want to suggest that if you have any kind of problems, please feel free to email me. කියන්නේ ඔයාලට lab sheets කරද්දී issue එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් මට email කරන්න. කියන්නේ මේ ටයිම් එකේ හරි නැත්නම් එක්ස්ටෙන්ෂන් එකක් ගන්න ඕන හරි කොහොම හරි මේ ඊමේල් කරන්න වැලිඩ් රීසන් වලට මේ එක්ස්ටෙන්ඩ් වුණත් ඔයාලට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් එක මේ මම අද කතා කරා වගේ ඔයාලගේ සමහර අමාරු ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන ඒවා මම මෙතෙන්දි සිලෙක්ට් කරගන්නවා ඔයාලට ඩිස්කස් කරන්න. අනිත් එක මොන හරි ඔයාලගේ ලැප්ටොප් ඉෂුස් හරි මොන හරි ඉෂුස් තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාලගේ කෝස් කෝඩිනේටර්ස්ලා ලව්වා මට ඩිරෙක්ට්ලිම දැනුම් දෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. නැත්තම් මේ මට ඊමේල් එකක් දාන්න මගේ ඊමේල් නම්බර එක ඊමේල් ඇඩ්‍රස් එක ඔයාලට විසිබල් මම එක මේ ස්ලයිඩ්ස් වලත් හැම දාලා තියෙනවා ඔයාලට ඊමේල් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඉෂුස්. I guess so there is one question count එකයි 4 එකේ සමානයි වගේ මට තේරුන්නේ නැහැ උදයන්ග මොකද්ද count එකයි 4 එකයි කියලා කිව්වේ. Udayan, can you elaborate your question again? මොකද count එකයි 4 එකයි කියලා idea කරේ. Oh, yeah, I need to yeah, someone else asks there will be a guest papers since there is this is the first time, so yeah, we will discuss with the professor as well, Professor Prasad sir as well. So not sure for now, but we can ask from the sir as well. කවුන්ට් එක පාවිච්චි කරන තැන් සහ ෆෝ යූස් කරන තැන් මම හිතනවා අහන්නේ වයිල් කියන එක වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් වයිල් එක පෝ එකයි වෙනස තමා වයිල් එකේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අර කියන්නේ එක්සිට් වෙන එක අපි කොතැනද දාන්න කියන එක අපි ඩිසයිඩ් කරන්න ඕනේ. ෆෝ එකේදී අපි අනිවාර්යෙන් ඉන්ක්‍රිමන්ට් එකේදී ඒ ලූප් එක කොතනින්ද එක්සිට් වෙන්නේ කියන එක ලියනවා. ඒක අර බෙක් ප්‍රැක්ටිසස් වගේ. And students, make sure to behave yourself in the sessions. I'm not going to tolerate that your behavior. Okay. If there are no questions, we can wind up the session. Okay, thank you, students. So I will upload the video probably next week, and I think you can do the lab sheets again. If you have any questions, please feel free to upload it. What about Asim? I think you need to Asim, you need to properly configure your GCC compiler. in code blocks, there are some videos that how to install the Ming GW and install the GCC compiler through Ming GW. So I will suggest you to search through in YouTube or Google it. Or otherwise, yeah, there are, I think, many instructions how to set up the code blocks and the GCC compiler. I, if the error is still existing, you can email me. I will give you some links. Uh, ඔයාගේ මේක මේ ප්‍රොබ්ලම් එක දිගටම එක්සිස්ට් වෙනවා නම් මට ඊමේල් එකක් දාන්න මම ඔයාලට links වගේක් එවන්න YouTube එකේ සර්ච් කරලා ඔයාලට පුළුවන් YouTube සර්ච් කරලා මොකක්ද error එක බලන්න. ඕකේ error එක තමයි මේ ඔයා compile එක හරියට configure කරගෙන නැහැ මේ code blocks එකට වැඩ කරන්නේ. Ming GW compile එක හරියට install කරගන්න. Ming GW install කරලා ඒකත් එක්ක GCC compile එක install කරගන්නවා. Others you can leave if you don't have any questions.